Good morning. Thank you for joining me today for today's makeup look. We are going to prep the face with Caudalie Beauty Elixir, and we are also going to add on some primer. So today I'm using the One Size Secure the Sweat Primer. This has been my go-to over probably for this summer and last summer, and I love this product so much. It's meant for dry skin, but it honestly is amazing under any makeup. Okay, so I'm going in straight with concealer, and today I'm going to cover up a lot of my pigmentation that I have on my face. And so I'm putting it around my nose to cover up veins. I'm covering my hyperpigmentation and underneath my eyes. And I'm going to let it sit for a while I go and do my eyebrows. So for eyebrows today, I'm using the Rare Beauty pencil instead. And I find that this one is a lot like the Urban Decay brow pencil, and it kind of has the same texture, so it goes on a lot easier compared to the Anastasia Beverly Hills. But the name of this pencil is the Rare Beauty Brow Harmony Precision Brow Pencil, and the shade that I'm using today is Cool Brown. So on top of that, to kind of laminate my brows and set them down, and so the product doesn't move around, I use the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Gel. And I think I've been using this for the last 3 or 4 years. And I used to use, I think I had Kosas as well, and that one's okay, but the brush is really, really tiny. The only thing I find is if you don't keep the bottle tightly closed at all times, it does get hard to open because the product gets inside the cap and then it just doesn't want to open. So just be careful with that. All right, so next I'm going to go in and line my lips. So I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip pencil in the shade Cool Brown. I love this shade. It basically goes with any makeup look that I'm doing, and you can add any lip color on top and it just seems to blend in perfectly. It's a good shade for my skin color and my tone, but it also gives that shade and a definition, and it just makes my lips appear a little bit bigger. It depends if you overline or whatever, but I really have been loving this pencil ever since I got it. And on top, I think this is probably the first time I've used this lip color in this video, but this is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillowtalk Fair Lipstick. And it's actually got a little bit of a cooler undertone. I think I've had medium before, and I really, really like this color. It just kind of blended out the lip liner, so I filled in my lips a tiny bit more. And now we're going back in and we're blending out the dried down concealer. So sometimes I like doing that where I dry it down and it tends to stay in the spot longer, like it won't move around as much. And then you can actually just blend the edges and it just provides more coverage this way. So I'm blending out with my concealer brush, and I just find that it provides way better coverage. And it doesn't matter what concealer you're using. I feel like if it's a bit of a wet concealer, let it dry down. Give it a couple minutes while you do brows or lips or something. And then instead of setting with powder, I'm going straight in with my powder bronzer. I'm using the Fenty Beauty Stalk'r Instant Warmth Bronzer in the shade Caramel Cutie. And I didn't want to have like a really shiny skin, not shiny, I guess, but I didn't want to have too much glow or too much, to make it look like my skin was more moisture filled, I guess, for lack of a better word. I wanted it to be a bit more dry. So I went in with a powder bronzer. And then for shadow, I'm using the Natasha Denona Gold Palette. And because I've been doing so many colorful looks lately and so many monochrome looks, I decided I wanted to go back in and do a natural eye look. So I'm using this darker shade in the crease, and I'm really actually piling it on quite heavy. More heavy than I have been in the past anyway. I wanted to get a really nice blend, so I add this in the crease, and for me personally, I add it right above so that you can see it. I don't have hooded eyes, but my problem is I have really deep eye sockets, so when you're looking at me straight on, if I have the shade right in my crease, you wouldn't be able to see it. So I bring it up higher towards the eyebrow, and I just blend it out really, really nicely. And then I'm adding the same color to the lower lash line, just a little bit. And this helps prevent your eyeliner from running. Also, I did skip this part, but I did add eyeliner. It was the Rare Beauty True Black Pencil Gel Liner, and it's one of my favorites. I used to use Avon Glimmer Sticks all the time, but this one has trumped that so much. Okay, so next step for eyeshadow is I'm wetting a brush with my setting spray, and I'm going in with this darker shimmer color, and I'm putting this on the outer corner. Again, usually on the outer corner, I put like a matte shadow, and so this is, I guess, kind of different for me, but it turned out beautiful in the end. So I'm using this, it's almost, I want to say a khaki color. It's like a more neutral gold. It's not really yellow. It's not that warm. It's a little bit more cool. And I'm putting it also on the lower lash line, which I love. I love adding a little bit of sparkle down there, even on top of that matte shade, and it just looks beautiful. And then next I go in with a different brush. I'm also going to add setting spray to this one, and we're going to go in with a lighter champagne colored gold, as you can see here. And I'm putting this on the inner corner. And then my daughter decided to stop in and say hi as well. So we're going to blend these two together. So at first I just kind of pack it on, and it's hard to tell, like when you've got two shimmers side by side, sometimes it's hard to tell that you've got two colors, but I think that's what makes it a little bit more multi-dimensional, because even though other people can't really tell, you know that you've got multiple colors, and your eyes automatically register that there's multi-dimension, but you can't really tell. Like it's not too outlandish, and it's just beautiful and blended looking. Okay, so we're just going to go back in with that first color and blend it in with the lighter color on the inner corner. And like I said, you can't even really tell. All right, so next I'm going in to wipe away fallout, just in case there was any. And then I do the steps for for my eyeliner and mascara and lashes really, really quickly. I just kind of jump over it. But before we do that, we're going to do a quick setting spray. Here I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, which has been my go-to for probably the last few years. We're setting it down by drying, and I have been kind of getting away from powder. I don't use setting spray anymore. So here we are. So liner, lashes, all in one step, and I decided to add some perfume. So just in case you guys want to know what perfume that is, it is the Goddess perfume by Burberry. It's the one of the newest ones, I believe. And then the last step here is blush, because I realized I forgot to add it. So we're using the Milani Baked Blush in 03 Berry Amore. And I wanted something a little bit pink, but not too overly dramatic. So you can see here, I'm just adding it. And because it's got a little bit of gold veining throughout, it gives a little bit of a highlight on my cheek as well. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. If you are new, I would love if you would consider subscribing. Click on that bell button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.